Good evening, everyone. I'm Courtney Odorico, and this is my beautiful daughter, Kristen. It is such an honor and a privilege to speak with you tonight and share with you in this important effort to make the dream of a cure for diabetes a reality for my baby girl. As many of you know, my husband John has spent much of his career doing research in the field of diabetes. We have been supporting JDRF at this amazing event since the late 90s, and each year I have been deeply moved by the stories of the families impacted by type 1 diabetes. So it was especially ironic when, in August of 2008, Kristen was diagnosed, and like many of you in this room, we embarked on that life-changing journey that is type 1 diabetes. Even with an expert in the house, we struggled to adjust. We cried. We agonized over every finger prick, every shot. We worried about the long-term effects of the disease on our beautiful, innocent 10-year-old. Will she be able to have children one day? Will she lose her eyesight or a leg? Or the worst thought a parent can possibly imagine, will this disease kill her? In the years since her diagnosis, the challenges have shifted. It is so achingly painful to watch your child struggle to cope with this disease, being devastated at something as simple as witnessing her isolation at a birthday party as kids wolf down their cake while she hurries to check her blood sugar, then sits alone at the table as the other kids have already eaten and moved on. Words can't describe the heartbreak of listening to her sob as she struggles to understand and asks over and over, "Why me?" and having no answer. Mothers are supposed to protect their children. It's in our DNA. But sometimes with diabetes, I feel completely helpless. Now, we all know teenagers think their parents don't know anything. Let's just say in our house, that couldn't be further from the truth. But any help from Dad is usually rebuffed, and it often leads to tears and slamming doors. We struggle to help Kristen understand the importance of taking care of herself and the possible long-term effects of her disease without scaring her. But every time I know her blood sugar is high and she refuses to take insulin, my heart breaks just a little more. Now, I don't want you to think it's all doom and gloom. John and I feel great pride as we see Kristen grow in maturity. She's learning to take more control over the management of her disease. Watching her stop, check her blood sugar, and give herself an insulin bolus in the middle of a basketball game, or change her infusion set like it's no big deal. Poking her fingers over and over again without batting an eye assure us that she will somehow be all right. We know that she is strong and smart and independent and spirited, and that gives us great hope for her future. But that future has to include a cure for this disease. That is why it is so important that we come together tonight in generosity and love to support not only these wonderful people in our life who have diabetes, but also the amazing work of JDRF and the researchers who give us all hope for a better tomorrow. I am confident that a cure exists and that the money we raise tonight will help get us to the finish line. We absolutely owe it to kids like Kristen to get there, and we need your help to do it. So here's what I'm asking. Please contribute to Fund a Cure tonight. 100% of the money we raise during Fund a Cure goes directly to research. Oops, excuse me, I lost my page. What better way to make a difference in the lives of so many special people? I look forward to the day when diabetes is a distant memory and I can look back on tonight and know that we all made a difference. And Kristen and I have become very close since her diagnosis. And like some couples, we even have a song. I know it's kind of silly, but it's kind of special because it's a love song by Taylor Swift, Kristen's favorite musical artist. But it was written for her mother, and that's what makes it so special for us. So in the words of our song, I just want to tell Kristen that I have loved standing back and watching you shine, and I didn't know if you knew, so I'm taking this chance to say that I had the best day with you today. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, my daughter, Kristen.
Sorry. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kristen, and I'm 15 years old, and I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes 5 years ago. Like most kids, I never paid attention to my dad's work as a diabetes researcher, and diabetes wasn't even on my radar. So going into the hospital on that August day was terrifying. I'd never been so scared in my life. All I remember is that when I went home, it started to sink in that my life had changed drastically and forever. I quickly had to learn a whole new way of living. I had to learn to check my blood sugars, count carbs, and worry about highs and lows. In many ways, diabetes has stolen the past 5 years of my childhood. Sometimes I want more than anything just to feel normal and to not have to think about diabetes at all. We all know teenagers have insecurities, but not like mine. I hate that I have scars on my fingers from all the finger pricks, and I'm really self-conscious about the infusion sites all over my stomach and back. It's hard to figure out where to put my pump when I'm wearing a swimsuit or a dress. And when I say this, I know I'm talking for everyone affected by diabetes. Diabetes sucks. Like many teenagers, I think about my future all the time. But unlike most kids, my future hopes and dreams are always wrapped up in thoughts about diabetes and what it might mean as I get older. In biology, we're learning about heart attacks and strokes, and it scares me to know that with every bad thing we talk about, diabetes is a risk factor. But I also know the future has to include a cure for diabetes, and that is why it is critical that we work hard tonight to help JDRF find that cure. In spite of the support of my amazing family and friends with diabetes, I feel very much alone. People often say to me, "You're not alone, tons of people have diabetes," but they just don't understand. I'm the only one in my family with this, the only one in my circle of friends, and one of only 4 people with diabetes in my school. But tonight, right here in this room, on this one night a year, I know I'm not alone. I know I'm surrounded by people just like me and my family, people who are determined to find the cure. I told you earlier, I think a lot about my future. Well, I want my future to be about traveling the world, meeting new people, and experiencing cool things. I want it to be about making all my dreams come true, about taking risks, about laughter and fun and love. I deserve a future without finger pricks, without infusion sets and insulin, without fear, without diabetes. Everyone living with diabetes deserves this future. So tonight, every time you raise that auction paddle high, you're getting us one step closer to that bright, diabetes-free future. Like my mom said, all the money raised during Fund to Cure goes directly to research that will help treat, prevent, and one day cure diabetes. And the sooner we find that cure, the better. I have big dreams, and I don't have any time to waste. Thank you for helping us tonight. Thank you for keeping our hope alive. And thank you for getting us closer to my dream.
What a tremendous young lady Kristen is. Her mom, Courtney, their whole family. Would you give them another great big round of applause? That was a very touching story. Young lady, I think you got a bright future. You got a bright future. Thank you guys all so much.